I mean, if I made something as terrible as Fanforstic, I'd probably sleep with a gun too. Well, I mean, we do have the podcast on here, so that's close enough, which explains why I got a revolver. Anyways, let's talk about the backlash of casting Human Torch for the 2015 Abomination. Okay, so let's be real. The only thing fantastic about this movie was the cast, besides Miles Teller. But the Fantastic Four are on their way to greener pastures. They're on their way to, well, they could literally make the worst Fantastic Four movie so far and it'd still be the best one. So things are coming up Fantastic Four. But anyways, before we get to Fantastic Four, we're going to be reminded plenty of times of the awful movie that we got. Now, one of the shining examples of underutilized, of talent not used to their full potential was Michael B. Jordan as Human Torch. He's a great actor. Everybody was great, besides Miles Teller. But recently, the director of Fantastic Four was like, hey, let me talk about the Fantastic Four some, and let me talk specifically about casting Human Torch. And then he goes on and talks about the fact of how he was scared for his life, how he ended up getting a gun and bringing it to the set of the film and sleeping with it because he was afraid. He was afraid for his life as he cast the Black Human Torch. Now, if I go back and look throughout, the casting process and the rumors and everything, one thing I find very funny, as a matter of fact, is the fact that there actually wasn't a lot of backlash to the casting of Human Torch. I know if you look inside, what we call the bubble, where the vocal minority thinks they're, very vocal and represent everybody, sure, maybe it was there. But if you look everywhere else, it was like, oh wow, they got a really good actor for this. Too bad it's this movie, though. So his Marvel career is ruined and he'll never get cast anywhere else. Praise Papa Feige for saving him. As a matter of fact, a lot of the castings surrounding this film are very optimistic, besides Miles Teller again, and even the director choice. Now, all the negativity stems from everything else they were saying about this reboot and why it was happening. Like, 95% of what I can find and remember is people just going, this movie only exists to hang on to the license. That's why Fox is doing it. There's no other reason. And that literally echoes through everything. So, again, Trank tanked his career. We know that for a fact. And, who even knows what the dude was up to, honestly? Like, we've heard the horror stories of that movie and how he was out of control and, substance abuse and all that. So, again, one thing into another. Did he have a gun on set? Yeah. Was it for protection? Sure, maybe he says that was the reason, but again, he tanked his career. Like, man, it wasn't about the casting, it's about the fact that everybody hated the idea of a rush production of one of the most important comics of all time, and the first family in comics, being butchered and turned into a grimdark kill squad. That was the problem, not the casting of a person of color. There is actually a scene in that goddamn movie where the Thing is killing people and he has a kill counter. Kill counter.